not gonna make you look bad, but it's gonna be awesome. You're gonna have this whole person, and they'll be like, "Dude, aren't you the guy from the castle?" And you're gonna have to be like, "Yeah, yeah."
All right. All right. Cool. I think that's uh, a good way to start. So, with that being said, there's a lot of shit happening. Uh, any anybody want to throw something out there?
Oh my God, yes. I'll go off. So this whole thing in Minnesota about this woman blocking ice and then being shot, and then I don't understand how there's any opposition to that side. Where it's like, well, you know what, like, yeah, like, uh, you should definitely be allowed to resist arrest and drive your car through people, and then just that's how life works. Like, that's not how life works. There's accountability, right? Like, you have to be accountable in your actions
Oh,
and your
absolutely.
decisions. And when those situations come up, like, am I cheering for her death and am I happy she died? Am I happy that this whole thing happened?
No.
No, not at all, right? But at the same time, would I ever fucking teach my kids and excuse my F bomb, y'all? But it's something I'm passionate about. Would I ever teach my kids that it's okay to stand in front of an ongoing investigation, try to disrupt police, and expect to be okay to just not listen to anything that people in authority are telling you? No, I would never teach that.
No.
I would never teach that to my kids. I would never do that myself. I would never be that one, right? I could disagree all day, and that's what protests and that's what putting it online is about. But the fact is, the moment that you are being detained, you are being asked to stop because you are breaking the law, and you choose to take the law into your own hands and drive a 2,000-pound vehicle through people, you should expect to be shot. I mean, correct
Absolutely.
me if I'm wrong, but that's my take on it. Like, I don't understand. Like, what would the outcome be if we said, "Oh yeah, you don't have to listen to anybody, and if they try to detain you, go ahead and drive through people because there's no consequences to your actions."
Well, in this situation, it's a little different. It's a person who who is directly trying to stop um, a law officer from doing their job. Okay, from doing their job. They have a specific thing that they're supposed to be doing, and you are interrupting, which is you are not allowed to interrupt. It's illegal to do what she is doing. And they said they would arrest you will be arrested. Okay. Now it's different if you have your vehicle and you have people coming up to your car beating on your door or beating on your windows, wanting to take you out, then I say drive over them. Okay. But in that
Oh yeah,
situation, they're not a police
yeah.
officer. Your life is being threatened. Okay. Now, as a police officer, if you're threatening their lives, they have a legal right to use force against you. And some say, well, she wasn't packing, she didn't have a gun. No, but she did have a weapon. And then you'll have people say, no, she didn't have a weapon. Yes, she did. That's called a vehicle. She used the vehicle as a weapon. Therefore, she got shot
I mean, I've been hit by a car myself at work. I worked at Scrub
twice.
Dub in Woburn, and and I got hit by a car so hard I bounced off the front of the car, bounced off a window, fell through a door. I got hit so hard the back pocket of my jeans ripped, my wallet fell onto the floor, and I stood up bleeding from getting hit by a car going less than 15 miles an hour, right? Like we're not trying to draw a line at like, oh well, it was this speed or that speed. Like, you're in a 2,000 pound automobile plus, right? Some might be more, some might be less, but you drive something that weight into a 180, 230 pound person, even at 15 miles an hour, that the results are devastation.
Yeah.
And I've
It's
been
going to
on
hurt.
the receiving end of that.
That's a pain that's going to linger.
Yeah.
What do you got to say about that, James? Have you? Did
I
you
don't
even hear?
really know.
Have you even heard? Did you hear about that?
I heard about it. I looked into it a little bit, but not a whole lot. Not as much as you guys. What you guys were talking about is kind of all new to me. I didn't know about some of that.
Yeah, it's some of the things that are on our algorithm. Yeah.
So
So
what should just your gut take though on it is that, the ICE was conducting a raid. This woman was blocking traffic. They went up to her and they were like, "You can't block traffic. You can't do this." And instead of complying with the orders to get out of her car, she attempted to drive through people, right? So like taking out all the left side, right side, all that, just the bare facts is, she was there blocking traffic. She was asked to get out of her car. She decided not to, and then she drove forward into people.
well, into a
Hmm.
police officer,
What type
into
of
a police
response
officer.
do you think is appropriate?
Right. Nah, she should be shot.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah. Yeah, because it's crazy to think otherwise, right? Like we would not encourage that behavior in any other situation, period. Like, oh, just drive through people. Like, oh, you are now a danger. Eliminate the risk.
Yeah. And that's not the only thing happening in Minnesota either. Minnesota's going crazy right now. They have all the child care, uh, all the child care fraud going on. And some people don't even believe that that exists. A lot of people believe that that's just made up.
So that's another thing I can speak passionately about. So my son has autism, and we get financial help for my son, but we have to prove everything, and we have to go through all these hurdles and jump through all these hoops in order to get the help and assistance that's offered. So if I'm doing all that, in Minnesota, it's just like we give meals to autistic and retarded kids. Give us money, and there's no proof. Like one, besides that being super wrong on like a legal level, what about an ethical level? Like what about like
Well, that was
wow,
the whole point. Was it wasn't there was nothing ethical about it. They were trying to scam the system, or they
yeah,
weren't trying. They were scamming the system for what, billions of dollars.
billions, and that's money that my family could have used, right? I know I'm not in Minnesota,
Even if
but I'm
it
just saying, like,
well, I'm just
that's
saying,
crazy.
billions of dollars were going to these places that didn't have any kids at whatsoever. Okay, and just those dollars could have been better spent on anything else. You know, on anything else. And how many places are like that? Matter of fact, that even though Minnesota, you could say that is messed up for Minnesota. It happened right here in Ohio, in Columbus, and just guess what? It's the same company that owns the ones in Minneapolis that they own the ones in Columbus as well.
Also, right
It's pretty
now
messed up. It's
they're
pretty messed up.
looking at they're looking at New York and California for the exact same thing on a much higher scale, which is crazy when you think about it because Minnesota and Minneapolis, it's in the billions of dollars of fraud.
Uh,
They said New York and California is higher based off of the initial just cursory glance into it.
that's gonna be wild to find out what exactly is happening there. Yeah. I haven't heard
Nick,
anything. I haven't heard anything. You know, anything about those. Um, but I'll look into that myself just to find out and see what else is happening. Because if it's happening there and it's happening, the way I see it, it's happening in Minnesota. If it's happening in Minnesota and it's happening in Ohio, is there a place where they're not going to find that? You know what I'm saying? I would have if you would have told me it originally um, that they found this in California, I would like, yeah, it doesn't
crack.
surprise me. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever. You you should see all the things that they do over there, and then to find it in New York. Yeah, New York, especially New York City, who just elected a socialist mayor. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I believe that would happen there too. But Columbus, Ohio? Really? Columbus, Ohio? In Ohio? Yeah. Yeah, if it's happening here, it's got to be happening everywhere. And so if we're talking billions of dollars in just Minnesota, how much is really going on? How many billions? Is it a half a trillion dollars? Maybe it's $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that could be helping people who really need it.
Right? No, nobody wants to accept accountability, and that's the crazy thing is like, okay, take out blue state, red state, whatever. Audit them all. Audit every single state and every program. I promise we ain't gonna get mad. Show us the fraud and let's end it. Like, isn't that the whole purpose of everything? Is to be like, wow, look at how misappropriated. And misappropriated is
A late
such a
term.
garbage word. Yeah, that's such a late term.
It was
Yeah,
misappropriated. Oh,
and like it
that's
was
it?
in.
Wow. You mean you didn't steal it?
Yeah, it was intentionally defrauded, right? Misappropriated is crazy. But let's use that word because, no, well, that's what they want to hear. So let's use misappropriated. Let's go ahead and audit all the states. Who, like, who could be against that? Like, what would your legitimate concern be against finding out
We need
where
to.
the money that's being sent for these programs actually going?
It's like,
If
oh,
it's going there, cool. Like you look great. And if it doesn't, you're the ones that are holding this up.
well, here's the thing. Where's Elon Musk when you need him? Hey, Doge. Where's Doge?
Doge.
Doge. Doge.
Doge.
Doge every state. Doge it over.
We need big balls back on here. Back on, get big balls back on the computer.
Yep.
Let them dive in.
Let them at it. Let them have everything. I'm right with you. I'm right with you on that. Beyond that, so how does this all involve the price of beer? What do you say, James?
I don't drink.
You don't drink beer.
I don't drink in general.
Drink in
Nothing. Not even.
general. But hearing all these
No,
numbers,
I
I'm
he
only drink on
prefer,
special occasions.
prefer captains, not generals.
I don't. It. I just think too many people take like I don't know. They take this into where it's like they hear about one thing and then they don't think about anything else and they're like, oh, this doesn't sit right with me. I'm gonna protest this and it doesn't matter any facts and it doesn't matter the big picture. This one thing is what I'm gonna hone in on. And then they do, and then it just becomes absurd because then you point out to them like all the reasons why you know that one particular thing isn't the end all be all of what's going on at large, and they can't get past it. They can't see any other truth than the perceived misjustice or you know so nobody wants to be accountable, and then when we try to hold people accountable, they only are willing to accept it if you're straight and white, right? If you're straight and white and you mess up, well, that's your career. But other than that, well, was it really? Like, I think y'all are just nitpicking and I think you're doing too much. It's just crazy the way that everything is going down right now. And I'll be honest, like I'm actually afraid to see what comes next because
Well, what comes next is civil war.
yeah,
I mean,
and
it depends
we're
on
knocking on it.
it depends on what you're watching too. Tell you what, there's some people out there and from on the left, and they're calling up arms. They're literally saying we need guns, and yet they're the first ones to tell you that we need to get rid of guns. Basically, they don't want you to have a gun, but they can have a gun because they need it to make sure that you stay in line.
Yeah,
Or if you hear from a lot of people that are, let's say, conservative, and we're going to say real conservative, they're going to tell you the next thing that happens is civil war, and the reason for that is because they're done. They're absolutely done with listen to the left and the rhetoric that comes out of them, and they're done. They're done appeasing them. You want to call me a racist because I have Christian values. Call me a racist. I don't care. Okay, which personally I don't. I don't care. You don't like the words coming out of my mouth. The fact that I am pro Second Amendment. Too bad. I don't care. You know, I do not care. And if that offends you, guess what? I still don't care. I don't care. Yes, I own a gun. Guess what? Cry about it. But yeah, it just depends. It depends on who you're listening to. Whether you're left or right, it, it just seems like it's heading in a bad direction because everybody says they're sick of each other, and that's what normally happens. Next thing you know, you have, instead of people just showing up like BLM and causing destruction, eventually you're going to have two sides showing up and you're going to have clashes. And there ain't nothing
yeah,
the government's going to be able to do about it.
yep. And it almost came to it during BLM. It was just it was interesting, the whole BLM movement, because it was like, okay, you have the entire world focused on you. You have center stage to inflect any change that you want. All you have to do is show up and speak about it. And then what they do, they stole Nikes and TVs and burnt down businesses and destroyed cities. And we had mayors going, well, they're mad.
It's mostly peaceful protests
Yeah, like it's that
as cars were
that
burning, buildings were
that
burning down.
that whole thing's crazy, and just I don't know, like I can't. I'm not part of any group. I can't say like this is what's gonna happen, but just using common sense, and when you continue to push those fringe ideas, and you are using domestic terrorism on against everyone so that you can get your way, at some point there's going to be pushback. And when that pushback comes, it's not it's not going to be light. It's going to be it's going to be civil war. And honestly, like I can't imagine the left winning that, but that's not really here or there. But
The
it's
only way
just
something like that happens to that extent is when they have the government on their side. So they'll
which
have
they
to,
do.
and that's. But then you're still
Well,
talking
kind of.
civil. That's when civil war will happen because the people are not going to disarm. The people of the United States will not disarm. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. It will not happen without a civil war. That's guaranteed. Anyways, with that being said, how about a subject that's not so dreary? James, I got a question for you.
Yep.
What's the latest and greatest game that's out there right now, in your opinion? Because I
What
normally,
console?
Probably Arc Raiders.
go ahead and say that again.
Arc Raiders.
Ark Raiders. This is
Yeah.
like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ark Raiders.
No.
Okay, what is it?
It's extraction looter shooter. You go in, you find materials, shoot people, get out.
Okay, so yeah, you're talking to an old guy. I need
That
some
well, yeah,
elaboration.
that's I don't know how it best to explain it to somebody that doesn't play video games. That's the thing. Like,
Talk to
Well,
the
what do
if
you
you
people who
were
play
someone who
video games. Go passionate.
describe it? Describe.
I just kind of did. That's what the game is. I just explained the game very, but like
Well,
you
over
don't know
explain it.
games very well.
No, I don't. So that's why I said over explain it. Give me the over explanation. Explanation.
um,
Don't be so simple.
So who's
yeah,
the main group in this game that you play as?
Raiders. You're Raiders. It's in the name really. You're playing on the world, which is the Ark. Um, hence the name Ark Raiders. You're a raider. You go in, you loot around, collect materials, shoot other people, steal their shit, extract without dying. You get out, upgrade. your hideout. Uh, that's the game loop.
I got you.
There's not really
So
it's not
so
really story based or nothing like that. I mean, there's quests you can follow, but the it's not the main premise of it.
it's not the
Is it
main.
like a team versus team,
No,
clan versus clan,
no,
1v1 then,
no.
one versus everybody else?
It's free for all or your squad.
Kind of like
it's really
like playing
it's
Grand Theft Auto.
PvPvE kind of, not really.
Well, Grand Theft Auto, it's like you play in a free for all whatever, and you just go do your thing. I mean, there's
Well,
quests you
that's
can do,
more
and
sandbox. Well, that's like a sandbox experience where you just go out, do whatever. Arc Raiders, you're specifically looking for things, and then you've got to extract before a certain time limit, or you die. Um, you're not. It's not you just run around and just look and just do things. You're running around looking for stuff to collect and to extract with.
okay.
Okay, so you got specific goals. So as the raiders, is there just like one character class of raider, or is there like, okay, you've got I don't know, let's throw Skyrim out there. Okay, you've got Nord, you've got Dark Elf, you've got I can't remember the rest, right? But like you have different classes that give you different benefits and different,
Yeah.
you
What's
know.
the yeah? Like, what's the scene?
If
Well,
this
what's
was
the scene look
more
like?
if this was RPG based, maybe, but no, there's no such thing as classes in Arc Raiders. You can get like upgradable equipments and gear, but you're just one person and you can
You're a freaking
change your
pirate.
character. No.
What do you mean no? You're a pirate. A pirate goes around,
No.
just takes shit and leaves.
Well, sure, you're taking shit from a functional world. The Arc world is like an apocalyptic part of the world.
Oh, so this is an apocalyptic game. So basically, you're
N-
going through ruins.
Not an apocalyptic game. Because it's like an area that has been sectioned off from the rest of the world due to its dangerous.
Nature. Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that. But you go in here, and it's like a free for all in this area. Anything goes. You die in there, you die. If you get out, you get out, basically.
Okay, so from understanding then, there's not really any character or class builds or anything specific like that, but the whole thing
Your
ties back
builds,
to go ahead.
your builds comes down to like your equipment, your gear, um, the stuff you have on your gear, your attachments, stuff like that.
And that would all be personal gains in the game,
Basically,
not
yeah.
character. Yeah. So
I
basically,
mean,
like
have you ever
your
heard of
whole
it? Have you ever heard of Escape from Tarkov?
He plays Fortnite.
I do. I play Fortnite. Fortnite, Call of Duty, Diablo 4,
I mean, I played Diablo 4, but
apples to
man,
oranges.
I mean, Escape from Tarkov is that's next level.
Okay, so
It runs along the same premise where it's like that extraction looter shooter, but it's much more hyper realistic. Whereas you get shot once, you're gonna be sitting there healing for the next 2 minutes.
okay, I got you. So so would it be fair to say that the Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever the
Arc
title
Raiders.
was, arc readers. Sorry. Um, Basically, the premise is that okay, they're on the arc. The arc is all fucked up. They're trying to fix it. The way they fix it is going out, looting, shooting, stealing, killing, getting the fuck out, and bringing it back to the arc. So you have specific things that you need to get, right? Like, oh, we need steel to build the wall. We need food because people are sick. We need this particular mineral to do X, Y, and Z. So then you either combine with a squad or you go off on your own and you're like, I'm gonna get what the arc needs. I'm gonna get as much as I can,
Well,
and then I'm gonna
you're
get
not
back to the arc. Is that
you're not getting stuff for the arc. It's not like you're trying to fix said arc. Um, think of it like there's the um there's the outer city, and this is like the safe spot where people can go and not have to worry about dangers and stuff like that. And then
okay?
there's like the dead zone, or like the drop zone, which is where you go to do all your raiding or your looting and all that. You go and grab materials, gear, equipment, all this shit like that for your hideout. You're not trying to like fix nothing. You're trying to upgrade your hideout so that you can build better equipment, make better gear, upgrade to better gear and such.
Okay.
That's really what your main focus is, that and doing quests.
So the
All
better
right.
your gear is,
So
the bigger the quest you can do.
The
What's
better
the
your
end what's
gear
the end
is, the
game?
more likely you're not gonna die in the harder areas.
Okay, what's the end game? Do you finally become this overlord and kill everybody, or what?
No, you just get better gear and get to the latest areas. That's really about it.
It almost sounded like this was something between the Maze Runner and Divergent.
I don't see how that. I
Well,
don't see the
in
similarities.
I was just saying, in Divergent, you couldn't go. You're not supposed to go beyond the wall into the no place zone. And same thing a little bit with that Maze Runner. I had that kind of vibe to it. The movies,
No, yeah, I
is
know with me.
kind of had that vibe. It's a little bit of that apocalyptic type with uh, with that can't go here. Whatever. Yeah, both decent, both decent as far as movies go. You know, series thought they were pretty good. So how did that turn into a video game, right? All right, we'll conclude. You
All
guys have a
right.
great
all right.
night.
Have a good night, yo.
Hasta la vista.